advantage now over the 21. Mr. A, of course, of Ferrari with Alessio Rivera back at the wheel is a minute and 4, and that is predominantly because they have had their lower graded driver, Simon Mann, although he is quick among his peers, not as quick as top pros, so they have dropped a little down the order. So our race-leading Ferrari, Alessandro Pierguidi, is on an outlap. Now, more dramas, and is that Pierguidi? It is 51. He had to stop, an emergency stop for fuel. He was on the way in, under full course yellow. The pit entry road is closed. You could come in and take on 2.
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
With Self, you're in control of your credit building journey. Set your own starting credit limit as low as $100 with your matching security deposit and get going. As you use your card and make on-time payments, you can build your credit one step at a time. Visit Self to apply.
Hey, I lost my driver. Stand in line, me too. What? I lost my drive and energy after I turned 40.
Dude, do you even know who we are?
Well, sure, Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie. Of course, Nugenics. Most guys at the 40 lose more than just their golf game.
Energy, strength, stamina, that competitive fire, it all starts to fade.
Well, did it happen to you too?
Yep.
Well, what'd you do?
We got Nugenics Total T2.
From the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC and Walmart, Nugenics Total T2, packed with even more man-boosting power. It's the next generation testosterone booster that sends nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours. Feel leaner, stronger, and ready for anything with more energy and drive. Feel like a new man. Get your complimentary bottle by texting CHOICE to 42424.
You know, she'll like it too.
New T2 is not available in stores or on Amazon. Get your complimentary bottle now. Text CHOICE to 42424. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenics Thermo X absolutely free.
See a car, find it on AutoTrader. Even my TV detective car. Just put your info in the Kelly Blue Book My Wallet, browse personalized monthly payments from dealers in your area, then start your first deal online.
This is a story about the one who keeps it all moving. He is measured, precise. He thinks ahead, stops the right parts, and knows just where to find them. Because for the one, this facility is about more than business. The industrial grade products you need delivered fast. Call Ranger.com or stop by. Ranger, for the ones who get it done.
Thanks to our global direct sourcing and in-house manufacturing, you can get diamond stud earrings for just $99. Go to shoplc.com to experience the brilliance of lab-grown diamonds. Shop LC, shop low cost.
Welcome to the Outback. It's the perfect stage for a battle royale.
I'm gonna be the last one standing.
Last one standing. The competition continues. Science and discovery.
When you're feeling good, go here, or go get known, or even do this. And basic breakdowns don't happen, and they can cost you thousands you can't afford. So how do you cover the skyrocketing cost of auto repairs? Easy. Everything Breaks is a new kind of auto protection plan. While other plans can cost you $150 a month, Everything Breaks covers you for as little as $1 a day. Why not get a free instant quote right now? Call 1-800-295-6224. You also get free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental cars. Plus, unlike other providers, your savings start on day one. Call now for a free quote to join the growing crowd saving thousands on repairs. Call 1-800-295-6224. 1-800-295-6224.
Get it all covered your way, 'cause everything breaks.
Leading for AM Corsa Ferrari, but behind. Number 50 Ferrari has now cycled up into second, 22 seconds behind. Alessandro Pierguidi in former lead. another lap. If you're out of fuel, you're out of fuel. So he had to pit, had to come in the second time, spun in the pit entry, and this is how it happened. Well, he did undoubtedly cross the pit entry white line twice. Once there, spun there, and crossed it again there. So it was fairly comprehensive crossing. However, the curb hopping, I think, won't be an issue, but he has been reported for what, in technical terms, strictly, Johnny, is an offence, but look at the reaction. He cannot believe it.
It's an easy mistake to be made under pressure as well, to just come in 1 or 2 k's slightly too quick and just caught the curve at the wrong angle around the bend. He'll be kicking himself.
Fatigue and frustration there. Yeah, obviously we're getting near the end of the race now. 4 hours 45 minutes to go. Drivers are tired. They're trying not to make any mistakes, but it's human that you start let things start creeping.
Now we fight with 50, jump to 50, 21 seconds. Copy.
Essentially, all these three drivers, and especially Phil Hansen, seem to have just been in a battle with a red Ferrari. And actually predominantly in front of a red Ferrari, and knowing that they have to stay at arm's length, otherwise there will be some team instructions, which is just pull over, thank you very much indeed. I don't know at what stage Ferrari are going to say, okay guys, the yellow car's got it. It's still a Ferrari win.
I'm not sure that'll ever happen, will it? Do you think with 30 minutes to go, and if they were 1, 2, 3 on the road right, you know, after say a yellow zone or something like that, and they were, I think they'd just let them fight it.
With 30 minutes to go and 21 seconds, if this was the last half hour, the only important thing is that one of those yellow badges is at the top of the podium. The only important thing. And for the red Ferrari team, for 50 and 51, it's points. Yes, you get more for winning, but they both won them on. It's not about that massive imperative. It's like the second World Championship, or the third. It's still the first one that is that milestone. And then the others are doing another great job again. So it's not that massive imperative.
So with 83, it's semi-works car, right?
It's
privateer.
It is run by AF Corsa. It is operated out of Ferrari's base at Fiorano, where their endurance team is.
But someone else is paying for it.
Somebody else is funding it. So it is a privateer car. It is competing against 99 Proton Water in the Privateers World Cup. But it is still Ferrari wins. And that's the kicker. And you only get points for the top of the brand of the factory car. So whether 50 finishes first or second, they'll still get the points.
Of course, Ferrari have got double the points of the next car anyway at this current stage of the World Championship.
Yeah.
But double points available here as well.
And yet still, we have got, how many cars, I believe that, 10 cars still on the lead lap. With Robin Fries not that far off, I think, in 11th place in the number 20 BMW. So this could still be a really tough full battle for the points. And especially for the manufacturers, because only one manufacturer's car counts. So only one factory Ferrari, only one factory Porsche full season, only one factory Toyota, only one of the Cadillacs, only one of the BMWs. So you start picking cars out, and that's where the points start paying. But further on down the order, still you've got all of those cars, that top 10, potentially if something, if a slow zone comes their way, or safety car, yellow flags, or more penalties for other drivers, then suddenly you're going to find yourself up the order. Now, the AUFA being warned about track limits. If you get 5 violations with the same driver in the car, then you will be in for a drive-through penalty. I think we've only seen one of those all week.
Yeah, I was thinking that earlier on. Normally, this time, last year, the year
don't know whether they're clamping down on that more, or whether it's just that this is a factor of how hard everybody is having to push now.
Is this the first year? Maybe this is the first year that they've taken away any leeway at all. So it's 60. If you're 60.1, that's a penalty.
Might well be the case. Might well be the case. And again, because there is time to be gained. You know, there is, I think originally there was a 3-second margin of error getting down to 80Ks under full course yellow. And I think that's been pulled back to possibly 2 or possibly even 1 second. Again, haven't been in every driver's briefing and read every supplementary regulation, but I know that they have closed that up because there is so much to be gained by taking advantage of.
Your last lap time was at 4:37.2 seconds.
Deeper into the slow zone. Goes right up on somebody who is obeying the law 100%.
You've seen a lot of tracks in practice, didn't we?
Yeah.
A lot of people get played for a bit. Yeah, nobody's really involved well with that, but as you say, it's more the limit stuff that everyone's been calling out.
Yeah. And yellow flag infringements have been relatively few and far between. While this continues, if you're watching them on for the very first time, hello and welcome. And yes, it's quite often like this, actually. We've been unusually blessed by fine weather this weekend, at least over the race weekend. We've had a bit of rain during the season, during the week rather. But if you're enjoying this, then think how much more fun it would be if you were at the track. There is a Father's Day special being offered by the guys at COTA. It is a log-off, which for our good friend and colleagues is buy one, get one free. So you can buy a ticket to come and see the All-Star and Lone Star Le Mans 6-hour race at COTA, and you can bring your dad for free, or buy a ticket for you and bring you for free if you're a younger son without access to your own funds. And don't forget that tickets are for sale, or daughter indeed, or anybody else in between. You don't have to be a dad, you don't have to take your dad. It's just buy one, get one free, but it's a Father's Day special. Tickets are also on sale for our next race in Sao Paulo. So that will be early July, and we'll head to Texas.
It's one of the demanding schedule, isn't it? When you think of this and how hard this race is, and then, you know, in a month's time, off to Brazil, to get the cars there, to get all the kit there, the staff, it's a big expense, and they're going to pull some long hours after this.
And then we go Texas, Fuji, week off in between. I know. So that is a proper hurry up, and then the 8 hours of Bahrain at the end of the season. And I know there'll be a massive crowd at Fuji, as always there is. And that, like Spa, has been, like Le Mans actually, has been on the calendar every single year of 13 seasons now, led by Endurance Championship Racing. And we know, we've raced a lot, Peter, in Japan. You know how dedicated, how enthusiastic, how knowledgeable, how frankly barking the Japanese fans are. It is, I'm sure, going to be a huge side there.
Yeah, it's fantastic atmosphere. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been there since 2012, considering I spent, you know, a large part of my career there, 6 years racing there. It would be good to go back to Fuji, and I'll reassume my role in the FIA as driver advisor.
And among your peers as pub advisor.
No.
There's a lot of very fine eating and drinking opportunities around Fuji, especially in Tokyo as well. So I'm sure there'll be an awful lot of expats in the community there who will welcome the visitors with open arms, as well as all of our local Japanese fans and restaurateurs. So
I was just going to say, talking of busy motorsport events, of course we've got the 24 hours of Nürburgring next week, then the 24 hours of Spa the week after, and I believe there's 8 drivers in this field doing all 3 of those races.
Well, you know, they're gluttons for punishment. There's a few commentators doing all 3 of those races. I'm not among them, but yeah, it is that season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's so busy this time of year. Motorsport as a whole is on a bit of a peak, isn't it? It's a good time to be in motorsport.
Yeah, it really is. And especially to be a young driver who wants to earn a living, you know, this is the place to do it. You've done it successfully in endurance racing. Johnny, you've done it successfully in endurance racing. It is a place where you can be paid to be a professional driver. And sports car racing has never been, I'm not just talking about WC, I'm talking about
They've just done a 4:33.8. Sector 3 time is quick.
Every weekend there's sort of a custom race or professional race, and you know, to have 3 back-to-back 24-hour races is super busy for teams and drivers, but there is potential of young drivers making a career in the sport, whether it's a GT car or prototype, and it's perfect.
What a time to be a young driver, and what a time to be a slightly less young driver. Sebastian Bourdais in the number 38 Hertz Team Jota Cadillac has just set the fastest lap of that car's race. Oh, and indeed the fastest car of the entire race. A 3-minute 26.0.
Lap will be invalidated. Watch the track limits.
At the fastest laps in happy hour at about 8:30. It was a
Pick up that corner and got a slow down penalty.
So Bourdais absolutely ripping it up in the 38 Caddy. Born and bred in Le Mans, has never won here, has raced in his 18th appearance in the Bacatrian World.
It makes me think, though, and a little bit sadly, that if he's able to do that pace now, what were the reasons why they didn't have the pace earlier in the race to keep those caddies in it? Because, you know, it would have been so good to have those caddies up there fighting with the Porsches, fighting with the Ferraris, and, you know, we got the Toyota gradually just hanging on in there, so it's moved up a bit, but it just can't sustain the pace of those, especially those Ferraris in front. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but it's, you know what, it's good knowledge for Cadillac and the drivers, and, you know, maybe as the season progresses and then into next year, they might close the gap up to Ferrari.
Running on board with Ye Yifei, our race leader. Now has not won, although this car has won. This car won last year. It hasn't won this season. He was aboard with Robert Kubica and Schwarzman, who's the third driver last year. That's his taking his place from Schwarzman, who's now racing in IndyCar. They won in Texas last year. There's Bourdais monstering it over the curbs. All the way through the race, the Cadillac drivers were playing an understeer, which didn't get much better on the cooler track conditions. And that Cadillac is a car with some of the higher downforce numbers in the field.
It's straight on speed.
Yeah.
That's always been not an issue, but it's always been as good as Ferrari and Porsche now reasonably. And maybe that's an issue with race, that they just haven't got that 3 or 4K that others had, you know, because they might not have having a bit of a conflict with Ferrari.
And on good times, they probably switch the car on in qualifying, but as it goes through the stint, it just gradually loses the grip and it just can't sustain the pace.
And in all the other circuits, which are much more corner compared to straight, then that's less of a disadvantage. Here, it's all about straight line speed. This is like Monza. This is rear wing like a T-tray. It's all about being chinned out for speed. There's not much you can do. It is the inherent design of the car. And it does look as though maybe the Cadillac was designed for racetracks rather than specific for Le Mans. Cars that are the quickest here throughout the race, Ferraris, Porsches, and to a degree the Toyota, are probably designed predominantly to be good here and then to survive elsewhere. And because BOP from the season is not applied to Le Mans, these cars are racing as they were designed.
You've got wheel damage.
So, the quickest car...
We got damage
that you're
on the
seeing
front
here,
end.
That's not BOP, that is genuinely the quickest design. And somebody will always answer the questions and join the dots slightly better than the others. And the margin of error here is so tight. Nick Yellerly back at the wheel of the number 43 Inter Europol competition LMP2 car, stopping from the lead, still battling with VDS Panis Racing, the 48 car, Esteban Masson in that car. And in third place, Louis Delatraz, also in the pits now. There he is in Spike, the AO by TF LMP2 car. So the two of the top three are in. EDEC Sports number 28 car, that's the CrowdStrike liveried car. Jaap van Uyten is in fourth place in class. And the number 9 Iron Lynx Proton car, the yellow and black, bright yellow and black LMP2 car. Maceo Capietto has just left the pit lane in that one. In fact, there goes Nick Yellowly with what was a yellow nose, but is now a black and yellow nose. And there is Olivier Panis, the last Frenchman to win a Grand Prix in a French car, and the last Frenchman to win in Monaco.
What year? Come on. Not that I know.
No,
Late 90s?
No, it was Ligier, so a little earlier than that. Not late 90s, maybe early 90s, maybe 93.
No, it was after that.
I'm struggling.
I started racing in 94, 93, 94. So yeah, I call it 97, 98.
Okay. I shall ask Monsieur Google.
There'll be people at home. I know the answer to that.
I know. And how could you not know that? Monaco 1996, shot win for Olivier Panis.
Somewhere in the middle there.
In the Ligier. So the last win for Guy Legier's eponymous team. And there is the AO by TF car leading in Pro-Am. So again, if you look at the timing pylon on the left, we've got LMP2 as a class. That's the category. So they're all the same Orica 07 chassis. They've all got the same Gibson engine. They've all got the same Goodyear tyres. And they're under the same batch, basically. But there will be a separate podium for the Pro-Am teams as well as for LMP2. So were it to finish now, Inter Europol, VDS Panis, EDEC Sport, that would be your LMP2 podium. AO by TF, 34 Inter Europol and 11 Proton. That would be your Pro-Am podium. And different points for those. And all of these cars race regularly in these two categories in ELMS.
Sophie, can you give me Sophie 3 every lap?
Yes, copy. Just need to wait a bit, but all the pit stop stabilized.
All right, so he's having a little bit of a flap about, let me know where we are. Yeah, we'll wait till everybody cycle through the pits and then we will know where we are. I mean, the engineers probably do know, but they don't want to second guess it. There's the AO by TF car, and there is Maceo Capietto. So it currently shows AO by TF ahead of Iron Lynx, but the Mark 1 human eyeball says that is no longer the case. So the number 9 Iron Lynx car just ahead on the road. Or was that the black and yellow nose of, no, it wasn't Inter Europol.
Normally it updates pretty quickly,
so that's the VDS Panis car. Or is that the
must be the EDEC car?
Must be the CrowdStrike EDEC car, yeah. Haven't seen quite so much of that in the daylight.
Trust the systems, Martin.
Yeah, not always, but yeah, you're right. So Maceo Capietto wanted to know how close he was to the tail of Louis Delatraz in the AO by TF car. There is Capietto, again yellow and black from the front. Clearly fooled a simple man. Now, as well as showing you the race live and qualifying and free practice and everything else, behind the scenes, our Full Access team are at work. And if you haven't caught up with Full Access yet, then boy, have we got fun for you on the FIA WC YouTube channel. You can search Full Access and you look behind the scenes at all of the races, not just this season, but over the last 3 seasons. And what better place to start than the most recent one from Spa, which was just released about 2 weeks ago. Renger van der Zande is currently in 6th place, the number 22 United Autosport LMP2 car. And van der Zande lapping quicker than anybody else in LMP2 at pretty much at the moment. Yeah, 3 minutes 38 last time round. Actually 3:37 for Klemen Novalak in the TDS racing entry. That's the sort of Dayglow yellow and blue waves. That car, TDS Racing, down in 8th place, 3rd in the LMP2 class in Pro-Am. Renger van der Zande in 6th position and trying to work himself a little closer. He's a minute and 24 seconds behind the number 9 Lynx Proton car, Matteo Capietto, as you can see there. And Capietto himself, 12 seconds and change behind Aobai TF. So some fairly large gaps.
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
Look, she's just sitting here building her credit by...
I forgot you were here.
Self gives you credit for the rent you were going to pay anyways, and reports it to the credit bureaus within 72 hours. Free credit building for renters with Self.
Struggling with moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis? Talk to your doctor about #1 prescribed Entyvio, offering 2 maintenance options, including the Entyvio pen. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Entyvio, relief, remission for real.
Entyvio, Entyvio, Entyvio.
Hey, I lost my driver. Stand in line, me too. What? I lost my drive and energy after I turned 40.
Dude, do you even know who we are?
Well, sure, Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie. Of course, Nugenics.
Most guys at the 40 lose more than just their golf game.
Energy, strength, stamina, that competitive fire, it all starts to fade.
Did it happen to you too?
Yep.
Well, what'd you do?
We got Nugenics Total T.
Nugenics Total T is the unique man-boosting formula powered by Tesnor, a key ingredient shown to help boost testosterone starting in just 2 weeks to help you feel stronger, leaner, with more muscle and drive. Nugenics is the #1 testosterone brand at GNC and Walmart, but you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting BOARD to 215-215.
Anyone missing a driver?
Not anymore.
And oh, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle now. Text BOARD to 215-215. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenics Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free.
This Father's Day, Dad deserves better. And nothing's better than cooking on a Blackstone. Because all across the nation, Blackstone is the way America cooks outdoors. Your family will love every breakfast, lunch, and dinner you create, with an enormous variety for your whole family. Cook anything, anytime, anywhere, only on a Blackstone. Go to your nearest Blackstone retailer or blackstoneproducts.com and give your dad a Blackstone, America's best-selling griddle.
Blue Chew? Yeah, you know Blue Chew? Yeah, it's those like chewable tablet things like... Oh, girl, how do you know Blue Chew? Oh, man. Come on. And it made you like him more, right? Absolutely. Or you could...
Where do I get Blue Chew?
Well, you can go online and get your first month free, actually, so...
Who cares what they say? Size does matter. And we prove it every day at Shop LC with our exquisite selection of lab-grown diamonds. Because when size matters, so does value. Go to shoplc.com and go bigger.
George and Junior are fed up. They weren't planning on having to replace their brakes today, but they went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helps them find a deal on the right parts.
Ever worry that you're drinking too much? Take back control with Or Health. Or Health provides access to medication proven to help. A daily pill to drink less, or to quit drinking altogether. Text TV1 to 710-710 to learn more.
4 presidents of tech. Welcome to Mountain Head. We're the smartest men in America. Nations are teetering.
Could be cool.
Boom.
This might have just become humanity's global HQ.
Are you with us or not, man?
Violence, fake. Chaos, not a concern. This was a terrifying experience.
Kick off movie night with me and Kev on Friday Night Vibes.
And catch me and Jason Saturday night serving up dinner and a movie.
Thank you.
Let me get in on that.
Buddy.
Friday Night Vibes and dinner and a movie on TBS.
2 buddies, 426 Hemi, 4 speeds, and Dana 60. We're gonna build a Hemi Belvedere in the Boneyard. Yes!
And that's the total pit stop time running as well. They're clearing out the cooling ducts. I commend to see Tom Walkinshaw on the bonnet of a Jag V12 pouring iced buckets of water into the radiator outlet like that because it was overheating in the last couple of hours at Le Mans. That's a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit less close to the edge perhaps, but there's so many engineers watching the data in the back of the garage that the car is transmitting all the way. They've seen, okay, the temperature's getting a little bit high. Let's take a look at clearing some of that debris out of the radiator.
Yeah, the championship taking a step forward every year, it seems. New things available, new data available, streamlining, improving. Yeah, it's become a very professional outfit.
This is our third place car, Heart of Racing. Heart of Racing entered 3 cars. This GT3 Aston Martin, and of course the 2 Aston Martin Valkyries in hypercar, all 3 still running. Not without a couple of issues, they are still running. So the Aston in third, Ferrari in second, and it's Porsche in first place. Last year LMGT3 was won by Mantai's number 191 Porsche, which then went on to win the championship. 92 car with Richie Leeds at the helm. That's Ricardo Perron at the moment. Looking strong all the way through here. So LMGT3. 5 different brands in the top 5. In LMP2, all the cars are Oricas. That's not by rule of law, that's because it has been the best chassis. The lock up there as the Porsche turns in front of us. We're riding with Robin Freins, chasing Mathieu Jaminet, the number 5 Porsche Penske Motorsport car. Peters has started to rotate their trail braking into Ulsan corner. Just a little puff of smoke from the only inside right rear.
Yeah, you're right. It's a normal thing to do in these cars. You gradually come out of the brake pedal as you're turning into a corner.
No damage to report.
Your pace is really good, and this didn't average for a doubles. Very, very strong. So I don't think we're going to lose. I still want to try and stick to the plan.
Your front tyres are cold.
That's really interesting. And that is clearly the answer to a question. So they've talked to Robin Fry and said, I think we're going to triple stint these tyres. No, man, no, we can't. And then the engineer's coming back and going, no, the data says you're really holding your pace in the second stint. And by not stopping and changing tyres, just taking fuel and maybe a driver change, we'll save 10 seconds. Now, he's a second behind that Porsche. If they don't change tyres, he'll be 9 seconds up the road. That's a big advantage that you're not going to get in driver pace alone.
Yeah, and do the same thing. The Porsche will be thinking exactly the same thing. They're all kind of working to the same strategy. We've got the number 50 car from second place coming into the pits. I was monitoring the gap between 83 and 50, and Yuki Yi, he pretty much held him at bay to somewhere around 18 seconds. So 83 will be in fairly soon as well. I think he's pulling a pretty good stint, holding his own.
Yeah, and he has again been an absolute standout in that yellow Ferrari. Again, you can see the Ferrari team here, all the mechanics in red overalls, but the lollipop man, the one who steps out in the pit lane to signal where the pit is, bright yellow overalls. Not just because they're groovy, but because it makes him so much easier to spot for the driver coming down the pit road. Fuel, and you can clean the windscreen, give the driver a new drinks bottle, other safety elements. Michelin engineer can walk around, look at the tyres. But once the fuel hose goes off, only 4 men allowed to work on the car, and that will be for this full tyre change.
So 51 on a number 50 on a similar strategy, stopping one lap before the 83 car. So we'll see at the end, as they all cycle through their pits, if Yiffy Yi is still 18 seconds up the road or not.
Now that last change was a full set of mediums. They've only double stinted those, gone for another full set of mediums. That's what happens when you are careful with your tyres in the cool. The outlier among the Ferrari crew, Yue, our current race leader, double stinting a set of medium tyres. He's getting towards the end of that stint, should be in imminently. Number 50 Ferrari has just stopped after double stinting a set of mediums. He's taken on 4 new mediums. But out of step with them is the 51 Ferrari that had to take emergency fuel and is now therefore had to refuel again properly, but they didn't change tyres. They stopped a little after their 2 rivals, but they went for 3 used mediums and only a new medium on the left rear. Now the left rear is significant here, Peter, because as here at the Porsche curbs, predominantly you're turning right around this track, and so the weight is on the left-hand side of the car, and particularly the one that suffers is the driven wheel, the left rear. So he took 3 old tyres, 51 for Alessandro Pierguidi, and only 1 new tyre. So they're still building up, or maybe recovering a deficit of tyres from earlier in the race, but building up to have a bit of a tyre advantage as we get later into this race, as we approach the 4-hour to go mark.
Yeah, it's kind of remarkable they've still got some scrubbed tyres to use.
Well, it may be a set that maybe was double stinted earlier, and they're going, okay, well, yeah, we've triple stinted a lot. They go back behind the garage, they're shaved to get all the buck and so on, so you get a perfectly pristine looking tread, but it's just a little thinner than previously. Stop and go penalty for car number 193, and that is Ziggo Sport Ferrari. So Ziggo Sport Tempesta Ferrari, Chris Fogger at the wheel of the car at the moment. That's for technical infringement. Now they were reported for maximum power, which means they basically had a power spike, too many curb strikes, and they have overpowered the car. They have overridden the torque sensors that have been reading too high. So with the hybrid system, with using electrical energy right on top to replace the sort of peak power of the internal combustion engine, you can modulate that much more speedily than with a pure internal combustion engine as an LMGT3.
So no new tyres for 83.
Okay, so yeah, he's going to triple stint these, and that's a decision not made across the board. You do that, you do that, you do that. This car operated separately.
Okay, to see the degradation, we will change our mind and change the plan. In 2 laps, we box for driver and tire change. We have 2 laps to give everything before we change time.
Okay, so they were looking at triple stinting these tyres, which were worn when they went on, apart from that fresh left rear. And again, okay, no, you're not gaining time from that. And in fact, looking at these lap times, he's not that far off. 3:28.3, fastest car in the last lap. Hurst Team Jotas Alex Lynn, 3:27.7. So he's not far away. Kevin Ashton, 3:29.6, now up to second place. So Ferrari's still quick. Again, 51 is the championship leader, so they are looking at trying to take points away from their sister car. And their engineer for the 51 car is party to that.
We got damage on the front end. Pick up that corner and got a slow down penalty.
So we want to give ourselves the best chance to be in that position.
Does this move, well, we'll see from Ye's stint now in 83, because of his 2 competitors have both taken tyres. He hasn't. He's on a triple, and if his tyres are lasting well enough for that triple, he's saved that 10 seconds extra in a pit stop. It should vault him even further away from them.
And they'll have fresher tyres closer to the finish. Maybe only 12 laps closer to the finish, but still 1 more stint closer to the finish. And if he can keep the speed up, and also if he can continue with 13-lap stints, then they're sort of starting to hedge all their bets in one go. And that 83 car has been remarkably good right from the start of the race of getting long stints, 13 laps rather than 12, while also keeping their speed up. They've been in the lead group. And we've seen this often with Toyota. Crew of 7 have been overall, usually over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons, quicker, but the number 8 team have often been able to eke out an extra lap in a stint here or there that's given them a, quote, speed advantage. Whoa! Lockup, you saw the exact moment he touched the brake pedal there. Little puff of smoke came off the left front corner, and through the gravel has gone the number 8.
It was more than a puff.
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
Ever worry that you're drinking too much? Take back control with Or Health. Or Health provides access to medication proven to help. A daily pill to drink less, or to quit drinking altogether. Text TV1 to 710-710 to learn more.
Having trouble building your credit because of missed payments, constant rejection, or no existing credit history? You need Self. With tools like free rent reporting, a credit builder account, and even a secured credit card, building your credit just got a little less overwhelming. Start building credit today with Self.
I'm certain it's level 5.
Are you for imprint certain?
I'm certain it's level 5.
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love, printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
They say, Lauren, what's the secret to a long-sustained relationship?
It's Blue Chew.
Blue Chew. Blue Chew? Blue Chew rules. Blue Chew is an online subscription-based service that sends these affordable towels directly to your home. No one even has to know.
Hey, I lost my driver. Stand in line, me too. What? I lost my drive and energy after I turned 40.
Dude, do you even know who we are?
Well, sure, Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie. Of course, Nugenix.
Most guys at the 40 lose more than just their golf game.
Energy, strength, stamina, that competitive fire, it all starts to fade.
Well, did it happen to you too?
Yep.
Well, what'd you do?
We got Nugenix Total T2.
From the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC and Walmart. Nugenix Total T2, packed with even more man-boosting power. It's the next generation testosterone booster that sends nitric oxide levels skyrocketing.
Cold tires all around.
Feel leaner, stronger, and ready for anything with more energy and drive. Feel like a new man. Get your complimentary bottle by texting CHOICE to 42424.
And oh, she'll like it too.
New T2 is not available in stores or on Amazon. Get your complimentary bottle now. Text CHOICE to 42424. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X absolutely free.
Thanks to our global direct sourcing and in-house manufacturing, you get diamond stud earrings for just $99. Go to shoplc.com to experience the brilliance of lab-grown diamonds. Shop LC, shop low cost.
When your vehicle is broken, you can't go here, or go get those, or even do this. And face it, breakdowns will happen, and they can cost you thousands you can't afford. So how do you cover the skyrocketing cost of auto repairs? Easy. Everything Breaks is a new kind of auto protection plan. While other plans can cost you $150 a month, Everything Breaks covers you for as little as $1 a day. Why not get a free instant quote right now? Call 1-800-295-6224. You also get free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental cars. Plus, unlike other providers, your savings start on day one. Call now for a free quote to join the growing crowd saving thousands on repairs. Call 1-800-295-6224. 1-800-295-6224.
Get it all covered your way, 'cause everything breaks.
It's crunch time. Shark Week starts Sunday, July 20th on Discovery.
You can go back to your regular life. Or know the truth about the universe.
Welcome to my world. I've been dreaming about this. This is definitely bigger.
Feel the magic.
Levy score.
Yes, indeed. This is...
Was this the previous bit?
It
was, yeah.
Previous bit. This is the stop after the emergency pit stop. The full course yellow called for the debris caused by the incident for the Lexus. Emergency service was required, and then he has to pit again as soon as the pit is open. That's what he did. There was an error, and that cost them time and the lead of that. It was held there briefly as well with the massive road top, and that saved them an unsafe release. Pink. It's a time right now for cool heads. What this race has taken away, it could well give back. We've seen that time and time again as well.
So Collado is now taking the wheel of the number 51 car on the outlap.
Two comes the number 6 Porsche and the 15 and the 20 BMW.
Gap between the 83 car to the 50 now, first to second, is down to 36 seconds, and that's due to the 50 and the 51 both taking new tyres and the 83 not.
There's going to be further dramas. This is, we say it all the time, it's not done. We say very often on the LS commentary, anything can and usually does happen the last 25 minutes, and with 3.5 hours from that point at this stage, here is the stricken number 8.
Just getting to Mulsanne corner, so he's literally halfway back. Right, the wheel's completely gone now.
And hearing from in-car radio is water temperature alarm. Their shot at this race is gone. It's a matter of now whether or not they can bring this car home.
In fact, is that a replay? Because we're seeing the stop sign.
There's the wheel nut, I think. The gravel trap at the first turn. Watch again. This is the car being released. You see what we can see from this. Well, clear as day, I'm afraid. So the only other question is, was it finger trouble or was it component failure? And to add to the woes, car number 8, Hirakawa, under investigation, unsafe release. Well, while we're keeping an eye on all of that, we were joined in the booth by Richard Dean from United Autosports. Richard, well, you're watching as we are, the dramas are unfolding. The dramas as well for one of your cars, we'll come to that in just a moment. How many times in this great race for you, in whatever form it's taken, as a fan, as a participant, as the team boss of United Autosports?
9 consecutive United Autosports here. Times and so on before that, so...
Has it ever not been dramatic?
It's always dramatic. It's very exciting up here, and I'm looking at it from your perspective, where you're covering the whole grid, and we've been very laser focused on our cars and their activities.
Let's talk about United Autosports, and we're talking about the great piece of news we've had to give this week. LMP2 and the LMGT3 effort, 4 cars on this grid. It's not gone quite the way you'd like it to. You'd always want to come back with another win.
We can talk about last year's win.
We can talk about that, but we've already done that. But you're a team that knows how to win. How much effort, how much preparation with the logistics, with the car prep, with all of it goes in back at home in Yorkshire, the UK, and here on site?
Yeah, you start a year in advance, because we're the leader of the venue tonight. There's plans in place, hotels and accommodation already being booked for next year. You know, the detailed planning starts probably 6 months in, but there's never certainly on the P2 side, you don't know whether you're in the race until you've been told you're in the race. It's a little bit different on WEC because of the score. You see it's a little bit more unpredictable, but it's huge preparation. I mean, massive event as big as
From the point where Zaki yourself put together United operation, the GT team would seem like a bit of fun at the time, albeit done hugely professionally. Boy, has this grown. Your headquarters is incredibly impressive. You've got cars competing in the IMSA Analytics Sports Car Championship, in the European Le Mans Series. We've seen you in the Asia Le Mans Series, and of course in the FI World Endurance Championship. That growth, the effort that must have taken for you and our trusted band of friends and colleagues around you, how tough has that been?
Well, I think if we'd have thought it through to start with and tried to have that as an ambition and objective, we'd have probably not done it. But thankfully there've been big steps, but natural, incremental, natural steps from going to British GT, to the European Championship after that, LMP3 to LMP2 to WEC, and then obviously on to Le Mans. So they feel like natural steps, but you're right. You fast forward to where we are today.
Titles in LMP3, titles in LMP2, titles in Asia, titles in Europe, titles in the WC, and wins here at Le Mans. We're now going to talk about what you hope comes next. It's been a long journey to get there, but the great news we received on Friday was that some of the additional details for McLaren's forthcoming hypercar program as the number 8 car does make its way back onto pit lane, losing that left rear wheel.
That lap time was 4:27.3 seconds.
That car coming to a halt. Remind you, we're talking to co-team owner of United Autosport, Richard Dean, with 4 cars in this race, 2 LMP2 and 2 LMGT3. A couple of thoughts before we get into the McLaren thing about these kind of moments. What does this do to a team?
Well, I mean, Toyota is strong as an operation as you can possibly in that spot, especially in this race, and it just shows, doesn't it, what can happen despite the preparation. So, yeah, you have to just double down, and these guys are well prepared. I'm sure they're going to turn this car out as quickly as anything.
McLaren then, coming in 2027. It's been long awaited. Massive kudos to Zak Brown, who's pulled this effort together. He told us years ago, and then again and again, there were various waypoints that had to be followed to put this thing together, and one of the biggest ones was he wanted to turn around the fortunes of the McLaren F1 team. That seems to be going pretty well.
He's done that, hasn't he? It's hugely impressive. It puts a little bit of pressure on us because he wants us to emulate the success there, quite rightly so, and come back here and win. But here we are on the anniversary of the win in 1995. Those are all the ambitions that we set.
Plenty of the other, we call them LMP2 super teams.
Sector 1 is quick.
Are already here in the hypercar. How tough has it been to watch that happen as the 8 is released?
Well, it's been tough watching it happen, watching other teams getting an opportunity. But we felt we were ready. We felt we were ready. That timing's everything, isn't it? And now I realise that perhaps this is the best time. It's in my mind the best manufacturer. Iconic brand like McLaren is a British brand as well, and flying absolutely the height of the organisation there, the standard that they set. So it's going to motivate us to match that. So I think timing's absolutely perfect now.
You've been in the sport for a long time as a driver at very high level, up to and including Formula 3000, leading this team. Tell us a little about, from your perspective, as an enthusiast, as a student of the sport, but most of all as a professional, your thoughts on this era we're in the hypercar.
Yeah, look at the crowds. Look at trying to get out of the circuit on Wednesday. I've never seen it as busy. So
Sector 2 time is okay.
All the classes, but obviously you've got watching a race here, Ferrari, Porsche, Toyota, BMW. It's amazing, and to know that we can join the grid with McLaren, it just gets stronger and stronger. And Ford come in, and Genesis come in. we're actually very, very lucky to be in the right place, the right time, at this moment in history where we're in a real boom period for sports cars. It is incredible.
One quick question before I ask a final one about United Autosports in the history there. Do you look at Norwich?
It clashes Yorkshire tone.
That's a very good point. United Autosports, multifaceted team. This is going to be a huge step up in terms of some of the challenges that will be faced in terms of the logistics, which you're going to go for, the technical side of things. What's going to have to give? Are we going to see a different looking United Autosports, or are we going to see a retention of some of the multifaceted programs that we've got?
Well, you look at two ways, can't you? You always want to not be accused of spreading yourself too thinly. You want to do it absolutely right. We have to get this right. You have to be laser focused on it. But equally, all the regular series that we've got, it's like our university, a training ground from engineers, mechanics, systems control, everything that it takes to the logistics department.
Was over 4:26.4 seconds. Sector 3 times fast.
Pull them through, give them the opportunity, first-hand view of those top performers, star performance there. So you've got to find that balance. You also look at teams like AF Corse, acting in so many series, so to prove it can be done. So that balance to what we might call our customer racing, our racing series of IMSA, Elam Estland, say, not take her out of the ball. The challenge that we've got, which is a big one, to run at the front against these quality teams.
So, in short, it's work in progress to determine what that future shape is going to be. Watch this space.
Everything's under review right now. Now that we've got the green light, now that we're going, we're heads down, working away.
So we're listening to what's going on with the number 50 car.
Are we good on pace?
Yes, mate, we are good on pace. We are 32 seconds from the lead, so we got 4 seconds back already.
Chase is still on at the moment. It's kicking along, Nick Nielsen, and that's a real man you'd like in your corner in a situation like this. Rather not falling into management with this yet, and why should they just have 4 hours to go? Richard D, thanks so much.
Sector 1 is a second off your best.
59 was there.
Yeah, that car's been running at a good pace. We just crept onto the page 1 of the timing sheets in P6, and all looking good. We had an electrical issue that was creating some gear shift problems with trace getting into an alternator, just to say. It's a shame it's back out there.
Running for the finish is the number 59 car, and the historic number, the historic name that he is on for McLaren at Le Mans. And we'll be talking to a gentleman who was here in 1995 about something completely different in just a few moments. We'll let you get back to the team, to the boys and girls. Enjoy the rest of the race, and we look forward to the future.
Cheers, thank you.
So, 3 hours 52 minutes to go. Of course, there's 83 car in the hands. The AFA leads this race by 31 seconds.
And holding steady at the front, actually, being chased by Niklas Nielsen in the number 50 car, who is on brand new tyres, and James Collado in 3rd place. And neither of them really making much of an impression on Ye. So the 3 Ferraris still very tightly balanced. Behind them, number 6, Porsche Penske Motorsport, Lawrence Vantor. And then the number 12, Hertz Team Jota Cadillac. Looking here at the number 15 BMW rather, chasing the number 7 Toyota. And at the moment, the number 8 Toyota still in the garage after Ryo Hirakawa crept it back all the way around the lap. Number 8, Toyota Gazoo Racing, GR010 in the garage, and no hope whatsoever now of a top finish for that car. There are a number of cars in front of it, or a couple of cars in front of it, that are not registered for points. Even a points finish now seems a long way away. And through just the simplest of errors, the wheel nut going on, maybe cross-threaded, maybe not just quite tight enough, and undoing itself and flying off into the gravel trap, followed by the car itself, and then Ye losing the wheel on the way round, having to essentially do 13 kilometers with a wheel that was not attached at all.
I really like to try and stretch, or I want to try to get the triple, so this is the best opportunity, is to look after everything now.
Now, interesting, replicating what we heard with Robin Freins being told that they wanted to triple the tyres. So too for number 20. They're both on mediums. Fresh sets fitted in Freins' case. 24, 25 laps ago. He's just stopped for fuel only. And these, number 15 car, these tyres have done 20 laps as well. 15 is coming.
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
You prepare for the unexpected. So do we. TrueWork builds workwear offering technical performance fabrics and an integrated workwear system, so you can perform at your best. Work wonders. TrueWork.
I was paying for my ex's meal delivery subscription for a year after we broke up, and I'd still be paying for it if it wasn't for Rocket Money, an app that shows you all your subscriptions in one place, and you can cancel the ones you don't want with just a few taps. Take control of your finances with Rocket Money today.
Hey, look at that. They got one of DirecTV's new genre packs.
I think you mean genre packs.
Yeah, that's what I said. Now they can pay less and peck just the TV they want.
Pick the TV they want.
Yeah, now you're getting the picture.
I give up.
When you need a lift, you could use a big financial friend. Your BFF, Experian. Strong enough to help you push past financial obstacles. So even when you have a big expense, you have new solutions that can make a big difference. Well, you do have that big financial friend, wherever your journey takes you. Experian.
Fill your potatoes? Oh yes. Fill your eggs and pasta? Hello, creaminess. Philadelphia, a creamy touch of magic.
Whether Dad's vehicle is his prized possession or the family hauler, he needs to protect it. This Father's Day, give him the gift of WeatherTech. From laser-measured floor liners and cargo liner to keep his interior pristine, to seat protector to guard against stains, and sunshade to block harmful UV rays. The Cup phone perfectly secures his phone while driving. Order these American-made products or a gift card at WT.com. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, I'm Daniel, one of the founders of Ridge. My dad and I realized that most wallets are falling apart, stuffed to the max, and barely fit in your back pocket. So we set out to create something better. Ridge is built to last a lifetime and is the perfect balance of modern style and durability. Find yours at ridge.com.
Two buddies, 426 Hemi, 4 speeds, and Dana 60. We're gonna build a Hemi Belvedere in the Boneyard. Yes!
When you start a business, payroll can be an ordeal. But with Gusto, it's no big deal. Start paying your team in minutes and get your taxes filed automatically. Starting at just $55 a month. Learn more at gusto.com.
It's summertime, and that means it's adventure time. When you're out having fun this summer, make sure to stay safe and be prepared with MyMedic First Aid Kits. They have everything that's going to cover you from little bumps and bruises all the way up to life-threatening injuries. And guess what? Right now we're running a summer sale, so you can get 70% off select items, 20% off all our kits, plus over $200 in freebies. And keep in mind, you can use your HSA FSA for this as well. We'll see you on the trail.
I am still a virgin.
What is this?
Oh, it's Tundra speed dating.
Can I unbutton you a little? I cannot believe I am doing this on camera.
Foundation, we're the world's leading meningitis charity, but we can't defeat this disease on our own. And the meningitis flag is a symbol of that movement, to get other charities, patient groups, families affected, all behind it in one go. So it's a really simple message of protect. We want to stop people getting this disease in the first place. We want to support those people who have been affected, and of course we want to defeat it once and for all.
So it's a mixture of awareness and research, and the thing that anybody that is dealing with a trial, a tribulation, a challenge knows that what you actually need is a support network that understands and can actually spread that message.
Absolutely.
So you brought this this campaign here to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. There are 350,000 people trackside right now. There are millions watching and listening around the world. Tell us a bit about the scale, the scope and scale of this deadly challenge.
Yeah, so there's about 2.3 million cases of meningitis a year. Every 15 seconds around the world, someone's dying from this disease. It's a disease that can kill in just 24 hours. So it really ties in with the speed of Le Mans, the concept of the 24-hour race. So this is just our ideal opportunity to spread the word.
I was saying to you on the way in here, we actually have a driver who was driving this race. Sadly, his car's now retired, Mathis Jobert, who came down with the viral strain, if you like, of meningitis between Paul Ricard just a few weeks ago and here. He's recovered enough to have raced here, but the strain you're particularly keen on making sure that people are aware of and respond to is bacterial meningitis.
Yeah, so viral is serious. It affects many people around the world, but the bacterial form of disease is the one that is particularly deadly, particularly fast-acting, and sadly leaves a lot of people who do survive with really nasty lifelong after effects.
So, in your own words, what are you asking people to do today that are engaged by that message?
Two things. We want to flood social media with pictures of the 59 car. If you can use the hashtag defeat meningitis, it's on the rear wing, it's on the doors, it's on the windscreen if you forget about that. And please do go to our website, meningitis.org, to learn more about the disease, learn about the symptoms, and learn about the fight to defeat it.
Ian, thanks for bringing the message here. We wish you the best of luck, and if it helps just one family, one person, it's time well spent here at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Thanks so much to you and to United Autosports.
My pleasure.
And also reminds me just to reiterate, we were joined by Sir Chris Hoy earlier on in the week after he qualified for the Dark Horse Mustang Challenge, and he is covering the livery on his car this weekend of his Tour de Four charity bike ride race, which will be in Glasgow later in the summer, looking to raise £1 million for cancer research charities. Now, with a little bit more on the number 8 Toyota down in the pit lane, probably feeling rather warm, I guess, by now, so we'll get that whinge out of the way first, is Shea Adams. Shea, what's it like down there?
Martin, I'm never going to whinge about being too warm. Miami girl, remember, after all. And, well, you guys were...
Oh, keep talking. We're losing you, but tell us about the number 8 Toyota.
We do have an update from this garage, as the sound in the background is of the mechanics having completed the work on the number 8. Finally, it is on the pit apron and going back out on the track imminently. The work that had to be done on this car, the least of their worries was the fact that the wheel nut that went errant, actually it took what they needed to then screw on another wheel club to the wheel. They weren't concerned about that because the drive shaft was actually pulled out, so they had to do an entirely new left front suspension cluster, as it were. So that was the bigger issue. As I said, they have just now completed their work. They have lost a ton of laps, well and truly out of contention, well out of the points. But for Toyota, this is about pride and about making it to the finish with both cars, and that's what they're aiming to do.
Yeah, thank you, Shea. And that's exactly right now. Okay, we've got no chance, but I tell you what, this damn thing's going to finish whether it wants to or not. Ryo Hirakawa, the unfortunate driver who was in the car. And you then wonder, actually, yeah, I mean, it's just a simple gun not getting the wheel nut on correctly or cross-threaded or something, and you know, there's so much going on. Normally in a rear drive car, if it had been an LMDH car, it would have just maybe shredded the hub, but because of the four-wheel drive of the Le Mans hybrids, the LMH cars, it's an electric motor drive shaft as well, so there was a lot of work going on and some very, very hot components coming off, I saw.
Indeed, 7 laps lost, I'm afraid, with the trip back to the pits and the work that the guys have done, and they say a huge amount of time lost. That was a very rapid repair for the car. Let's hope it's all buttoned up in the way that it should be. Let's hear what's going on board the number 8 on its outlap with Ryu Hirakawa.
Good, your best is swap positions into turn 8 with car 7.
Well, so what they're going to use the number 8 car now for is to tow along the number 7 car, give him a slipstream, help raise his lap time, raise his speed, and also to try and help him save a little bit of fuel. And it's all trying to work their way through from 6th position up towards the lead. And in fact, the number 7 Toyota in 6th place is currently the last car on the lead lap.
Stick with this picture, we might see, I think we've got drama for one of the leading LMP2 cars. I think the 28 car, there it is, in the gravel, driver's right, going down towards Tête Rouge, and that's another car that's lost a wheel.
Yep.
So that is Jan van Utrecht with the right rear wheel gone from the number 28 car, 3rd at the moment in LMP2, 3 hours and 40 minutes to go. There it goes, and let's hope that that's been contained by
the fence.
Yes.
And let's face it, that car is now not going to go anywhere because they'll have no drive at all.
Well, as we saw with Andre Lotteres, that car's done.
Yep.
Can't get it back.
That is a massive moment.
Exit of duty of something snapped on the rear axle and it broke, and then the car got bolted out. It's finished.
Now, as he was having that enormous Code Brown moment, he won't have seen the wheel flying off. He just said something broke at the back. He's thinking it's a drive shaft, it's suspension, it's a something. It's thrown me off. It wasn't me. You saw Nick Manassi on there, you know, a guy we've known for years, the team boss, heartbroken. Both his cars out, having thrown off a wheel.
I already had a feeling that in the pit stop it was not tight enough, but okay.
Well, now, significantly, that's not his outlap.
Yeah.
So he was already up to speed. Well, there is the team boss, Nick Manassian.
Well, that's their day done, and both cars with remarkably similar problems. The Genesis Bama Racing backed 14 car earlier in the race, with Andre Lotterer stranded out the circuit, and now Jan van Utrecht too.
Marker of doom.
Afraid so.
And that's a no-brainer, I'm afraid. Even if they drag him out of the gravel, which they will, and put him on terra firma, he's not getting back with one-wheel drive, so I'm afraid that is the end of the road for both of EDEX Sports entries.
And the emotion hits again. This is very tough. Not unusual to see the emotion flowing, the exhaustions there, mental and physical at this stage of the race. And this is very much a team effort. Expect to see dismay and tears.
It's a car breaker, but it's a people breaker as well. It's absolutely devastating when you've poured a year into qualifying for this race, getting to this race, and then it all goes west. Now, number 9, is this a battle for position? AO by TF is the next car up the road, so it's not actually, but the United Autosport number, which is that 23?
23, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not the 22 car. 23, Ben Hanley, fresh out of the pits, up behind Renger van der Zande. Now there's two guys who have got good pace, and you can see what the nut has done as it's come loose. It's just machined off the end of the hub.
They've sheared it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's rotten luck for EDEX Sport.
The oil temperature's getting a bit high.
For Jan van Utrecht, and there you go.
You know, and for all those who say it's only kicking a ball when people get upset at you know, disappointing football matches, or it's only hitting a ball with a stick or whatever, this is only driving round in circles. But it's a passion, and people are so invested.
We heard Richard Dean a little earlier, his impression of what we see with the overview. It is a fundamentally different sport from the team perspective. It is a group of people coming together to try to achieve excellence and something truly extraordinary. And that's what it means when it goes wrong this late in the 24 hours.
Well, the takeaway from this is, first of all, they will have to look at what happened, how it happened, and how they can improve their practices
Your
to
engine
make sure
temperatures
it
are looking
doesn't
better
happen
now.
again. That's the first thing. The second thing then is what the driver has to take away from it. Job there on the radio saying, I thought something didn't feel right. This has to be all about no blame and communication. Guys, something doesn't feel right. Okay, well, we're not seeing anything on the data. It doesn't feel right. And at that stage, Peter, you've got a bunch of guys on laptops, and you've got one guy doing 200 miles an hour with something that doesn't feel right. You have to trust your driver. You have to protect him.
You question yourself as the driver. You're like,
Watch your speed.
We all know the situation, certainly in a 24-hour race where...
Box in,
What's that noise I'm
470
hearing now?
metres.
Was that noise there before? And this would be the same situation. Does that feel right? Am I right? Well, the car's still running okay. And then all of a sudden, it's not running anymore. You're off in the gravel and you wish you'd trusted yourself.
I'll picture this. Your teammate retired 4 hours ago because a wheel came off the car, and after a pit stop, it's
100
not
metres.
Right.
Okay,
That raises their stakes, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and it's something that the team really, possibly should have got on top of.
Disengage limiter.
Let's face it, every other P2 team out there need to double check that they're getting their wheels on correctly.
But again, did Job actually get on the radio and say, guys, it doesn't feel right? Or did he think, no, I'm imagining it? I'm imagining it because of Andre. I'm imagining it, and all of the debrief, all of the, it's not about who got something wrong. It's about how do we get something out of this? How do we turn this into something that is never going to happen again? A lesson that we learn. And there again, that high-speed lose, and as you pointed out, Graham, the wheel really bouncing away from the car.
Can tell you though, the catch fencing did catch the wheel. You're allowed to be emotional, it matters.
Well, of all the people now who are feeling the pain, the man on the right rear wheel, or on the rear wheel gun, he's the man who's feeling the pain. That was me, I did that.
There you go, well done, Job.
But again, we've seen it with time and time again with a mechanic where a wheel comes off a car. He's like, that was me. That was literally my job, to keep the driver safe. It does happen, and it's not about why it happened or how it happened or who done it. It's about how do we make it better next time and next time and next time. And that's everything about sport. It's everything about motor racing, is everything about human existence. How do we make it better? How can we help each other be better? Top three in, second, third, and fourth in. 83, Yafei, first to go. He came in from second. Nick Nielsen, the 50 car, came in from third. And you just saw the number 6 Porsche of Lawrence Vantor coming in from fourth place. So the leader remains out there, James Collado.
Tyres for the 83 car. We can see what happens here for the number 6 Porsche and for the number 50 Ferrari.
And of course the reason that the 51 car is out of sync is because when the last full course yellow came out, he was coming into the pits for fuel and could not go round. So he had to take emergency fuel, had to come back in the next lap to fill up again, but also spun the car into pit entry road. So we haven't actually seen that there's been either no further work or a penalty coming in for crossing the white line. We said at the time, Peter Dumbreck, he spun, he's stuck in the gravel.
It would be pretty harsh to penalise him. It's a different thing when you're coming into the pits and you make a late call and you bump over the curb or whatever, but to actually just lose it on the way in is a different story.
Yeah.
Very different pit stop times today. We'll catch up with the tyre data as and when it's updated on our box of tricks. Looked to me like the 83 took all 4 tyres, and the 1 minute 25 they took on pit lane seems to equate to that. Nicholas Nielsen, 1 minute and 18. Lawrence Vanthoor, 1:04. I think that's a fuel-only stop for Lawrence.
Confirm it was fuel only for Vanthoor. And
Kubica back in the 83 car.
okay, watch his hands, because that'll tell us whether he's got cold tyres on or not. What was his first?
No, they put tyres on. That's all they put tyres on.
Oh, you put tyres on, okay.
Yeah.
So it has got cold tyres.
50 is confirmed with a pit stop fuel only. So pit stop fuel only for Nicholas Nielsen took 14 seconds longer than a pit stop, which you presume was fuel only, for the number 6 car.
118 against 104, yes.
Why would they short fuel the Porsche?
Well, they wouldn't.
Was it?
Well, you wouldn't intentionally.
It was not a full stint.
They used
the slow zones out.
Yeah, they probably used the slow zone.
Yep. Which now?
Maxi push, mate. Maxi
Full course yellow coming. Full course yellow coming in about 45 seconds.
That's because we've got not only the 28 car under recovery, or now has been recovered, but now we've got debris on track and Marshall's Post 33 to be cleared.
And that is the fast left in the Porsche curves.
So also, Laurent Vanthoor on the 6 car, I think the Porsche crew pretty much knew we were going to get a full course yellow. And while it was just yellow, they decided, let's make this stop, because otherwise we're going to have to do a splash and dash.
Yeah, they came in after, what, 9 laps, and the full course yellow will close pit entry. They wouldn't have needed to come in now, but there's no guarantee that full course yellow, the pits will open in the 3 laps they needed. So I think you're possibly right there, anticipating that and getting him in and giving him a full tank of fuel.
So what's going to happen now is the number 51 car is going to have to pit and possibly take fuel. Depends on how long this full course yellow is.
For a second time now, he's completed 10 laps. Of course, under full course yellow, he will probably do 3 laps on the fuel that might have done 2 at racing speed.
He's got, I think, how many laps on this stint? He's
10.
Got, right, so he's got a little bit of time. The incident down at with the EDX Sport car is pretty much done. It's a debris clearance thing. This might be quite, and indeed as I say it, full course yellow will end in 30 seconds.
Okay.
So he's okay. He's not going to have to, I don't think, come and do yet another emergency stop. It's Paul Lafargue.
No, he absolutely won't, Andre Lotter. He absolutely won't, because with full course yellow, he could stretch 2 laps remaining in his stint into 3 easily, and possibly even 4 at only 80 kilometres an hour rather than 280 kilometres an hour.
But the one to watch is now the battle for 3rd place, because with that shorter stop, Lawrence Vanthoor is now closed in on Nicholas Nielsen. We keep an eye on what the real world gap is as the cars get back up to speed. We're back to green flag running.
That
15.
Timing was very good, potentially there for Dries Vanthoor. Car number 15 came in just as the pit lane window opened, or the pit entry opened again.
I'm not sure he did. I think that might have been an emergency stop.
Was he a fraction early? That would be very bad news for Is. Let's see, 15. Well, it's the end of lap 12. They haven't gone 13 on fuel. Yeah, that was a short fuel, you're right. Look, he's out and going again. So he didn't. He had to come in maybe a few seconds earlier.
So you'll have to come again next time around, Dries Vanthoor, and that is going to spike their guns. They're not in this fight, but he would have fancied getting up to terms with Julien Andlau.
But the team saw the countdown to go back to green. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Don't come in yet. It's green, now come in. So that would have been a tough call. And those are the, you know, if you make a pit lane call like that, instantly snap decision, then you can win or lose your race.
Focusing now on this 3rd place battle, Lawrence Vanthoor is trying to get the power down in the 6 car to get onto terms with Nick Nielsen, who, as we went back to green, under 3 seconds the gap. Now we've got a chase, 3.5 hours to go. Trying to put the Ferraris under pressure, and the remaining bullets in the gun for Porsche Penske Motorsport is the number 6 car, the car that started at the back of the hypercar grid, remember. And Lawrence Vanthoor, it is, that is trying to close this gap.
I wonder with 3 hours and 26 minutes, so driver change into the 83 car. Robert Kubica in the car now. I wonder what
It's still on. Disengage it.
Well, he can do the 4 hours in six.
He will cycle into the lead.
You want a cool head
when Collado comes into the pits, and we saw earlier on how quick he was. This is a pure sprint race now. Well, it's always been a sprint race, but it's even more of a sprint race.
So 3.5 hours.
What's your speed limit in the pits?
Double yellows. Marshall's post
Box in
24 this time.
470 meters.
And removed.
So someone's had a bit of a wayward moment.
Yeah, that's on the run down to Indianapolis, so maybe somebody has just had a little contact.
They are what? They are in sync with us, so it's directly for the position, the Porsche number 6 behind us.
5. 100 meters.
3.
No further action
50 meters.
Break for their
Right
unsafe
here.
release. That would be where they lost the wheel nuts.
Yeah.
So no further dramas. They've had quite enough, I think. 19th place.
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
You prepare for the unexpected. So do we. True Work builds workwear offering technical performance fabrics and an integrated workwear system, so you can perform at your best. Work wonders. True Work.
Some people like doing things the hard way, like doing their finances with a spreadsheet instead of using Quicken. Quicken pulls all your financial info together in one place and updates it automatically. How easy is that?
Sometimes my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis gets in my way. But thanks to Skyrizi, I'm free to bare my skin. With Skyrizi, I saw dramatically clearer skin, and many people were 100% plaque-free. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now's the time. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
I feel like I lose track of at least $500 a month.
Yeah, maybe that's because you still use spreadsheets. Haven't you heard of Rocket Money?
No, but you're probably going to cut me off and tell me about it.
It's an app that tracks your spending in real time, lowers bills, and helps you find and cancel sneaky subscriptions.
Sign me up.
Stay on track with your finances and download Rocket Money today.
Fill your potatoes? Oh yes. Fill your eggs and pasta? Hello, creaminess. Philadelphia, a creamy touch of magic.
Did you make that appointment?
Oh, I'll do it when we get back.
Or we'll do it now.
Keep pests out of your home and your head. If they come back, we'll come back. Guaranteed. Before worry shows up, Terminix it.
Oh, our car's value went up.
Maybe we should track all our cars' value on Carvana.
All of them?
All of them. We need more trackers.
I'll track the van.
Gotcha. Is that my belt?
Parts of it, yeah. Ooh, I'm getting a value update. Do you see which one is going off?
How's it tracking?
Good. Got some dips, some rises. Now what? Hold?
Sold. Did we get a little carried away?
No, room for more.
Track your car's value on Carvana today.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Don't miss Steel deals. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
I really hate dying. I'm scared of permanent deletion. They just printed me out again every time I die.
He's an expendable. He signed up for this.
You need to get used to dying.
Mickey can't save us.
One false move and you're man burger.
Mickey 17, rated R. Now streaming exclusively on Max.
2 buddies, 426 Hemi, 4 speeds, and Dana 60. We're gonna build a Hemi Belvedere in the Boneyard.
Yes!
We are so close to finding that Aztec gold.
This is a massive underground structure.
We found it, man.
Robert Kubica comes down and he takes the lead now. It's going to be close.
So Kubica cycling back to the top of the pile in the yellow number 83 Ferrari. And like the 50 car, on the same fuel strategy, 51 offset, not because of tactics or strategy, but because of bad luck. However, Peter, they've got 2 laps in the bank that the others don't have. They're 2 laps closer to the end of the race every time they stop. That handicap of having to come back in again and all of that might end up actually being a long-term advantage in 3 hours if they've still got 2 more laps in the tank and there's 20 minutes to go. Then that's going to either mean they don't have to do a splash and dash, or if they do, like everybody else, it's going to be a shorter stop. So having more fuel on board as we're getting closer to the checkered flag could actually turn out to be a positive advantage for 51, which comes from what was a nightmare scenario.
It's all on timing, really, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure the engineers have got their computer systems out and mapped out every stint and every lap and what lap time they've got to do and when the race will finish and how much fuel will be on board. And we're not really privy to that information, but I'm pretty sure they know exactly what they're doing. And you know, from Robert Kubica's side, he's driven the perfect race. He's got a 15, almost 16-second gap to 51 now. He's on the out lap, so that's James Gallardo. We know he's been told by his engineer to push. So we'll see how the times settle in now.
Around 51, 83, 50 and 6 all stopped on the same lap.
Car 83 is 15 seconds ahead, and a tire change is 11 to 12 seconds, plus the warm-up. So we are clearly considering the win.
Oh, okay.
Well, while we're watching this, the battle not for third, but for second is closing up here. Leapfrogging through the GT3 traffic. 16.5 seconds, you're absolutely right, Peter. James Gallardo is back, for just 2 seconds back now for Nick Nielsen, and 1 second back is Laurens Vanthoor. It's game on for second place.
So second, third there, and fourth, all in the same shot.
I try to do, I drive like 2 weeks before the car with the bike. For now, the tires are in very good shape.
Well, they flipping ought to be. They've only been on 3 laps, so they were brand new. They ought to be in really good shape. If they're not, then we're really in a big hole there. But, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's...
Well, is he going to try and go to the end of the race on them? No tire change.
3 hours 15, a quad stint more than that, surely.
Well, you heard the consideration being given. Do they, and when do they change tyres if they want to take up this fight?
Well, 51, when they stopped, the tyres were 1 stint old. 50 is now in the 2nd stint on its tyres as well. 83, the leader, brand new tyres. Number 6 into the 2nd stint on their tyres. And again, the fuel offset favours 51. They will go further than 83, 50, 6 or 12. They will all stop 2 laps earlier, and here's a problem for United Autosports.
It's the 22 car, and that is the 5th place car in LMP2. It's Renger van der Zande aboard this car. This is their LMP2 rather than Pro-Am car, and slow.
So what did you do to Richard Dean when he was here, the team boss?
I questioned him appropriately.
You did. It also appeared to have accidentally commentary cursed his team. We're going to stop getting guests coming into the booth. Happened with Zach Brown, didn't it, in Qatar? Zach, you better go. That's your car. Oh, thanks, guys. Nick Nielsen, Lawrence Vantor. The gap closing by half a second on the last lap. Vantor 3:29.3, 3:29.8 for Nielsen.
In contention on the Northern with the 43 car that still leads in LMP2, by the way. It's the Montai first from Porsche that leads in LMGT3.
Engine management issues we're understanding, and on the 80km/h speed limiter, the number 22 United Autosports car, Renger van der Zande from 5th in class. 3 hours and a bit left in the race. That's going to be hard.
You know, Porsche aren't out of this.
No, they're not. They're in the fight for a podium at the very least, and well, that decision to pit, Peter, just a little while ago, using the slow zone to assist their avoiding potential splash at the end of the race, oddly has put them into a 3-car battle.
Yeah, I mean, it was a possibility that, well, it was always going to happen, that we were going to get a full course yellow, because you always have to pull a tractor on to the circuit to lift the car off. But now we've got the Ferraris all moving very close together, and if you're Robert Kubica, you're hoping that these three get together and just start fighting it out, and you can drive away.
Well, you're certainly hoping, if you're Lawrence Vantor, that these two do, and if they are going to pull team orders at this point, they're going to have to do it quickly, because there's not a lot of time to avoid the prospect, the spectre of the Porsche dragging up to the back here. Let's listen to Nick Nielsen.
If you have the opportunity, you go.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it doesn't sound like they're going to ask James Calado to slow down, but Nick Nielsen's clearly said, I'm quicker, get him to let me by. The engineer saying, if you have the opportunity, pass him. Don't expect him to roll over to have his tummy tickled. Wow. And again, Calado not cornering there like somebody who's planning to lift off anytime soon.
Yeah, we talked a little earlier, didn't we, about the atmosphere within a team. We saw
limiter's still on, disengage it.
Sport team absolutely destroyed by what happened just a lap or 3 ago. What do you think the atmosphere at the moment is like in the Ferrari AF Corsa pit, Peter Lundbreck?
Yeah, it's a whole different feeling, isn't it? You've potentially got you're going to lock out the podium potentially, or you could let them fight and maybe not lock out the podium, and maybe Porsche can sneak up on you and grab the win off you. But at the moment, Kubica's got it under control. He's 15 seconds in the lead. He dropped a little bit on that lap, maybe due to traffic.
So if any opportunity, Niklas will go. Just saw it on TV. So just pay attention. I don't want any contact or something crazy. We need to finish this race.
Just saw it on TV. Not we're talking to each other car to car. Not we're planning
Box
this.
in,
They are
470
separate,
meters.
isolated units, both trying to win this race, as is 83, as is the Porsche. I mean, the fact that they're both red, the fact that they're both Ferraris, doesn't mean there's not a race on.
There was one other thing that came into the nuances in that message, which is, what point are we going to get into the championship
100 meters.
mode?
Well, 3 hours out
50
is
meters.
not the time to put all the eggs in either basket, because who knows what's coming your way. Final 20 minutes, if we're still nose to tail. Okay, then, what are the nuances of this? 51 can stay ahead of 50 and increase their championship lead, but if they finish behind 50, they still leave here with a championship lead. So that's the balance between the two of them. But Peter, they're racing drivers. What do they want?
They want to win Le Mans 24 hours. That's what they want.
Yeah, 9 of them, 12 of them in this 4-car battle for podium or better, and all 4 of those cars separated by under 20 seconds. Lights flashing as the GT car is about to be mugged, and was mugged by the 2 of them. We're waiting to see how quick Lawrence Vantor gets onto the back of this. He's dropping off this just a little at the moment.
Yeah, I wonder if he had a little bit of traffic in the previous chicane, might have just sort of stulted his speed coming in
Disengage
around.
limiter.
But Collado now with
We've got
Nielsen
cold tyres, we need to get some
really
heat into
breathing
them.
in his aftershave. I mean, he is that close. He's definitely getting the hot air, the wash off the car. Collado just goes onto the racing line. Great defensive driving, Peter.
Obviously, these cars are very similar, so it's going to take Collado to make a little bit of a mistake for Nicholas Nielsen to get by.
And we saw in the night James Collado chasing the yellow Ferrari as Ferrari chairman John Elkann watches on, chasing down Phil Hansen, and Finn Hansen held him at arm's length until he just outbraked himself a fraction too much. His driver said you were carrying 10 Ks more down into Mulsanne corner than before, and that's why you ran out of road. Just over driving, just desperately trying to strive and keep the lead. Now this is second place, but it might end up being much more.
Watch your speed limit in the pits. Box in for 170 metres.
Car, and again.
In here. Yeah, so the good benefit from the 51 car there. 50 just sneaks through as well.
I think advantage taken here by Lance Vantor. He's made the better fist approaching the traffic. Whether or not he can get by the two GTs, he can't before the Ford chicane.
100 metres.
3, 2,
50 metres.
1. Right here.
Fill your potatoes? Oh yes.
Go, go, go!
Fill your eggs and pasta? Hello, creaminess. Philadelphia, a creamy touch of magic.
Choice Privileges makes it easy to earn points and maximize any vacation. You can earn reward nights fast and redeem at over 7,400 hotels.
Okay, punch it.
Maximized. Stay twice and get a $50 gift card when you book direct.
This looks like a tall task for our business owner, folks.
Shipping? That's definitely the heart and soul of our organization.
And they game plan for this one. They're going with USPS Ground Advantage Service. What a handoff!
Go.
So 20 years until retirement. At this rate, it's probably going to be more like 40. Okay, no, way too long. Let's see how much you're spending. Download an app called Rocket Money. Oh, wow. I've got 3 DoorDash accounts. I totally forgot to cancel those. You know you can cancel those right in the app? Rocket Money has a clear dashboard that shows you all your income and expenses, helping you stay in control of your goals. It also shows you a list of all your subscriptions and how much you're paying, all in one place. Is this the best budgeting app? Yes, and it's called Rocket Money.
And that's why I never drive those guys.
Party's over, big guy.
We're tired of hearing, I don't want to get my truck dirty.
With WeatherTech laser-measured floor liners, front and rear, a seat protector, and full bed protection, trucks are totally covered.
You just got WeatherTech.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's get dirty.
Order your premium American-made products at WT.com.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
TrueWorks high-performance workwear keeps you cool and dry when the heat is on. So ditch the heavy denim and get light, stretchy, technical gear that's as capable as you are. TrueWork, no sweat.
Why are MyMedic's first aid kits the best on the planet? Premium supplies, easy color-coded system, plus free training. Get a kit that actually saves lives. Shop mymedic.com for 10% off.
This is the one who keeps it moving. He stocks the right parts and knows just where to find them. Because this is about more than business. The industrial grade products you need. Call, click, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Businesses everywhere are turning to Gusto for payroll, benefits, and more. Save time. Save money. It's no wonder Gusto was named Tech Republic's best payroll software. Get started for free at gusto.com.
Baseball is back with MLB Tuesday on TBS and Max.
I'm on the way like a road trip, on my way to the top, no I won't slip.
This is up and gone! Made to the moment!
TBS Tuesday on the way. Let's go.
It's got to be the most famous trophy in all of sports, right? This is why they play the game. To lift it for a moment, to keep it for a day, to be on it forever.
Penalties incurred by these drivers, and there's another one just pings up, car number 193, the Ziggo Sport Tempesta Ferrari, picking up a drive-through for slow zone procedures as we see the replay from on board. First of 50 and then a 51. Peter, he had to use the runoff area or the side of the public road, but he made it through clean.
Yeah, as long as you keep two wheels kind of on the track, it's a clean move. And let's face it, the 51's not going to put them in jeopardy.
All right, in the pitch, Shea Adams. Shea, you've got an update from United Autosports.
Renger van der Zande did make it back in with the car, but the strangest thing of all, they did all the service on the pit apron. All they did was add fuel and look at the bodywork, which is actually not fitting properly on the rear. But did they bring out a new tail section? No. Did they give Renger some energy chews and send him back out on the track? That's exactly what they did.
All right, so fuel and gummy bears apparently cures all problems. Well, at United Autosports anyway. Nick Yellerly, has he actually not been in this car at any stage during Sunday? Still in the lead car in LMP2. And of course that into Europol number 43 car as the last time. Nice swift stop, does not lose the lead to VDS Panis Racing, the 48 car in second place. Also in the pit lane, by the way, Aobai TF from third, having just taken over third place from the number 9 Iron Lynx Proton car. Let's hear from our race leader, Robert Kubica.
Okay, Robert, we confirm car 50 will not triple. Nielsen, the front left tire is dead.
Now, are they listening to radio on TV, or have they actually been told, are they seeing some data? I wonder how discreetly kept the data streams are from the cars among the engineers.
Well, the big change, other than the 50 ahead of the 51, is all three of the pursuing cars are catching the leader. That gap, first to fourth, was 19.5 seconds a lap and a half ago. It's now 16.2. So what we heard from the engineer between for the 51 car is proving to be the case. Now with the 50 in clearer air, 51 following through, and the Porsche as well up to full speed, the gap is coming down between Robert Kubica and the three following cars.
And that gap will come down dramatically fairly soon, because on this lap, when he gets onto the Mulsanne, Kubica will hit a massive bank of traffic. Basically, every LMP2 car is in front of him.
So let's focus, because we might lose the podium. Let's focus, full pace.
And Peter, that's 100% the issue. We heard this a couple of times already in the season. This man, Robert Kubica, going, okay, I understand you want me to move back, but make this work properly, because otherwise I'm in danger for third place if I drop back now. And he works out those calculations himself and then tells them to the engineer who's got the data. But
I do wonder what's going on with car 83, because I think he's got more pace in it. Is he just protecting the tires and going to try and triple? Is he trying to take them to the end of the race? What's he trying to do?
Well, he's trying to protect them because these are brand new tyres, so he's 9 laps in. This is lap 10 on these tyres, so the stint should be 12, probably more likely to be 13, although the last one was only 11. So Kubica, maybe they have a few more tyres in their locker, but they still need to hit their fuel numbers, and they still need not to start running lean. As you can see, he's still got about a third of the stint left to go on their fuel, but he and 51 and 6 will all be coming in at the same time. He and 50 and 6 will all be coming in at the same time.
Well, I guess the other two behind, 50 and 51, have to push harder. They have to try to catch him. So I think he's got his pace under control. He's doing exactly the lap times he wants to be doing, he's being told to do, and the others are absolutely full on.
Well, whether or not they want to be or not, they've got no choice because of the presence of the Porsche. They can't manage pace because the pace is being managed for them by the charge from Lance Vanthoor. They may choose at this stage to be conservative with what they've got underneath them. The difference that we've seen from some of the other races this season is there's a Porsche there, and we know that car has got pace. The question is, how good is that pace and for how long? Minute away from the end of the 21st hour of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Ferrari 1, 2, 3. So 3 hours to go. Kubica leads in the 83, the privately entered car. This battle is for second place and to try to get to the back of the 83. 12.3 seconds back from the leading car with 3 hours to go. Under 2 seconds between them, and then the red and white car in the background. Lance Vanthoor in the number 6 Porsche Penske Motorsport car. The car that was disqualified from qualifying for being underweight started at the back of this 21 car deep hypercar field, and it's fought its way back again, not for the first time in this 24-hour race, David Anderson, to be part of the lead battle.
It is one of the 24-hour races in recent times where team orders and team strategy has seemingly been a bigger talking point than I can remember. Now, it might be that in this modern age we have more access to radio traffic and so forth, and I'll tell you what, the next full access programme on WEC is going to be a fascinating one. But, you know, whether it's been Cadillac early on, whether it's been BMW, and certainly today it's all been about Ferrari and where they position the cars. It really is interesting. It really, really is. If you look at, you enjoy the background stories, and there are going to be plenty here. There's going to be intrigue, there's going to be stress galore, there's going to be, we've already seen part of it, the emotion involved with teams that thought they're on the way to, you know, a fantastic result here, and it's gone in a moment. All of that will be seen in the background with full access in just a few weeks' time. We know there's always heartbreak because that is part of any endurance race. It's certainly part of Le Mans, but it's this management of the cars, and as far as Ferrari is concerned, it is that little bit more difficult, as Ant and I were talking about earlier on, because you've got this sort of internecine battle between a works and an almost works car. We likened it to a half-brother that you have to invite at Christmas, but you don't really want him there. You know, the relationship is a strange one between those two elements of the Ferrari stable. It is, and I just wonder how much more stressful that's going to get the deeper we get into this race. There's still 3 hours to go. There's still, as I said a little earlier, chapters to be written here. Yeah. We've seen already mistakes from all of these 4 cars earlier on in this race, and in some cases, multiple mistakes. But the fewer mistakes seem to have come from 83. And yes, that's why it's in the lead, effectively. Yes, indeed. And what they've got is their Iron Man, Robert Kubica, at the wheel of that car. One of the best thinkers aboard a race car that we've seen in the F1 World Endurance Championship in recent seasons. It was Ant Davidson. I know you're crunching data at the moment. Who would your money be on right now if it was these 4 cars and these 4 drivers to the end?
Well, I've just been looking at the tyre usage. So Kubica, and also the number 83 car and the number 51 car, as far as I can see, have used 1 fewer sets of tyres than the car 50. 50 has used 11 total sets of tyres this race so far, as opposed to 10 from Kubica's car and Collado.
So he has tyres in reserve should he want them.
And I'm convinced that, yeah, like Peter was saying, that at the moment, Kubica's just driving to a delta, lap time delta on the tyres, and knowing he's going to triple them. Whereas car 50 with Nielsen, he's going through his second stint right now, and so is Collado on that set. So yeah, out of sync at the moment, 83 versus the 2 works Ferraris. Be interesting how it plays out, but pure lap times at the moment, 83 looks like it doesn't quite have the pace, but could just be through traffic.
Yes, last lap was
management as well.
last lap fractionally slower, but exactly, you're right. Traffic is always a factor, especially on a long lap. You look here and you think, well, it can't be traffic, he's on his own. But what you don't know is what happened for the other part of the 13-kilometre racetrack.
A lot of LMP2 cars just ahead of him at the start of what will be his lap 338. 39 rather, he's just finishing lap 338. So
Race leaders go by. Robert Kubica's last lap 3:27, so he's now back on a 50-51 style pace, but then straight away gets compromised into the first sequence of corners. But that's the same for everybody. You've got to manage the traffic. Kubica knows that. Comes to the inside for the second element of the S's, gets the job done, gets through. Now he can stretch the car's legs and try and build up a bit of a gap once again.
that gap at the line between the top four, 16.9 seconds, but 13.3 of that is the lead gap. 13.3 seconds after 21 hours of racing, and only one safety car in this Le Mans 24 Hours so far, and Davidson. Extraordinary stuff.
Yeah, it's been a fast race, hasn't it? Lots of laps on the board, 338, so I mean, despite the hypercars not being as fast as the LMP1 cars from the past, they're still racking up. They're still going to get to the end of the race with arguably more laps.
2 laps to go, 2 laps to go. And we suggest to increase the gap to car 51, which is now 14 seconds. They have a strategy advantage of 3 seconds above us.
Yeah, but you see, everything is very on traffic. I'm having bad traffic every lap.
Yeah, okay, so he's hit, like I said, I thought it's either one or two things. You'd fuel saving more than the other two, and that would imply the message there from the engineer saying their
Strategy advantage is 3 seconds.
So let's see what they do. So the last time around, Kubica and Yi Yifei only managed 11 laps on those stints, compared to Nielsen's 12. Nielsen currently on 11. As you see, number 4 in the pits. So yeah, coming up to another round of pit stops for the front runners. Hence the Ferrari team getting ready there.
So tyres ready for the 50, tyres ready for the 83 as well at the moment.
But on top of that, Kubica saying, look, I've just had a really bad run through traffic, and it does happen. We used to joke about it, Buemi and I, who had the golden stint. Golden stint, who had catching traffic just in straight lines the whole stint.